Yes. Hello, everyone. A very good evening and a warm welcome to the Facebook page of Purna Ecovision Foundation. So today is our 33rd webinar of this webinar series, which is on eco-friendly living. So before starting the webinar, I would like to tell you about this series. We have started since August 12th, and it's been more than 6 months now that every Wednesday at 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. we have this webinars. These are multilingual. We have had some webinars in Marathi also. So if you want to watch the previous webinars, you can check our Facebook page. Also, I would like to welcome the viewers of YouTube channel Apla Paryavaran. So we also have some of our webinars on YouTube channel. So you can also subscribe both of our channels and watch these videos. So today we have a special guest, Mrs. Yogini Bapat, with us for delivering a lecture on eco-friendly living. Before starting the session, I would like to introduce you all to Purnam Ecovision Foundation. It is a non-profit organization working in environment and waste management. So currently we are working on 5 projects: fabric upcycling, second is e-waste and plastic waste management, third is green consultancy, under which comes composting, rainwater harvesting and biogas plant. Fourth is sanitary napkin disposal, and fifth is awareness initiative, under which you are watching this live video. So we shall now proceed to the webinar. Let us get acquainted with Mrs. Yogini Bapat ma'am. She has done her diploma in Civil Engineering Board of Technical Examinations in Walchand College of Engineering, Sangli in Maharashtra. She has done BE in Civil Engineering in Shivaji University of Kolhapur and ME in Environmental Engineering in Shivaji University, Kolhapur, Walchand College of Engineering, Sangli, Maharashtra. So about her professional experience, she has worked in Thermax Limited, Pune in Waste Management Division as a trainee, and she has completed her dissertation in Biomedical Waste Management. So about her social activities, I would like to tell you that she is active in Paryavaran Saurakshan Gatividhi of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangha and a member of Central Nari Shakti team and Social Internship Program team. Also, she is a member of State Executive Committee of Vivekananda Vidya Vikas Parishad, which is an affiliate of Vidya Bharati Akhil Bharatiya Shiksha Sanstha in West Bengal. And she is involved with programs of propagation of Sanskriti Shiksha and Balika Shiksha. So she is also a member of working committee of Go Seva Parivar in West Bengal, which is involved in Gau Adharit Gram Vikas, so cow-centric rural development. So yes, that is why she is here with us today, and she shall be sharing her experience with us all. So before starting, I would like to tell you that you all can also, interact with her. So for that, you can keep commenting in the comment section your views or questions or queries. If you have any, please comment in the comment section, and I would convey your messages to her, and she shall be eager to answer in the last 15 minutes. So over to you, ma'am. First of all, welcome and thank you for associating with Purna Ecovision Foundation. And over to you now.
Thank you so much, Tanvi. Thanks a lot for the kind words you had to share for me. And thank you, Purna Ecovision, for giving me this platform to share my views about the subject which I really like and is a very dear to me subject. So coming to the topic of today's webinar, it is lifestyle changes and environment protection. Now, if you try and relate both, they go hand in hand. Your lifestyle is what is affecting today's environment, and your environment is what is affecting your lifestyle, vice versa. It is like a circle. Now, to know this, we will discuss about the lifestyle which most of us are sharing today, most of us are having today, and the effects caused because of that towards the environment, and how can we strike a proper balance between the two. Okay, for that, I would like to start my screen sharing. I will start a presentation, which is a very interesting presentation. I will be using both Marathi, Hindi, three languages. In fact, Marathi, Hindi, and English I will be using for this presentation. So please feel free to ask whatever queries you have at the end of this session. I'll just start sharing my screen. Is it visible to all?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. So as the name suggests, my webinar is all about lifestyle changes and environment protection. Now, when you see our need to protect the nature, why should we be doing so? Now, everybody knows about our ecosystem services. What do we have in our ecosystem? We have natural resources due to which we are benefited. And of course, there are the drivers which change the source of ecosystem. Now, how it is, we'll just go through a quick review. Now, when we talk about the natural resources, we know that air, soil, land, water, these are all our natural resources. Air, we get oxygen from the air, we breathe in oxygen, we give out carbon dioxide. So we need a clean air. So that is one resource. The second is the soil. We grow our food, our plants, agriculture, everything is based on the quality of the soil which we have. The soil also plays a major part in anchoring the roots of the plants and the trees, which is very much important because then we face the phases of soil erosion and then the landslides and everything. So that is also one important part, and that is one of our natural resources which we need to protect. Then comes the land. Now land, there is ample land for everything, but what is happening? We are a developing nation. So what we are using the land for agriculture, we need land for production, we need land for buildings, we need land for industries, everything to begin with, land is the primary requirement. So what is happening? We are going on making use of the land, and then we'll come later to what we're doing actually. So water. Now water, our planet Earth is the blue planet, as we all know. Why? Because the 71% of this planet is covered with water. Now we'll say that 71% of Earth is covered with water. We have so much of water. But mind you, out of this 71%, I'll just read it out, 96.5% is ocean water. Now what is ocean water? It is the salty water. Can we use it? As of now, we are still trying to find out how to use it. Okay, so let us keep aside that 96.5% of ocean water. The rest 3.5% covers the rivers, lakes, ponds, and glaciers. Now in the glaciers, 2% is covered. Out of this 3%, again 2% is covered by the glaciers. Okay, now glaciers are covered with, half of them are covered with snow. So again, we cannot reach out for that as our means of water resource. So now what are we left with? We are left with 1.5% of water, which is the river and the lakes. All right, and the ponds which are available for us to use. And what are we doing? We'll talk about it in a while. Okay, so now the natural resources, these are all the natural resources on which they also benefit us. Now, how, in what ways do they benefit us? They build a strong economy for us. They are responsible for our well-being, for our health. They are also responsible for the food and water which we get, also for the raw material which is required for the industries. And of course, the public health is entirely dependent on these natural resources. Now we have seen the natural resources. We have seen the benefits which we get because of those. Now, what happens? There are sometimes what happens? There are these drivers of change which change the quality of the natural resources which we have. And what are those? Land use. Now, land use and misuse are the two things which are responsible. You know, we go on misusing the land at times. We go on due to the illegal constructions, illegal possession of land, illegal disposing of waste material on land. All these causes the land use which we are doing, which causes a biggest problem in the life. So that adversely affects the mankind. Now let us go to the pollution part. Now we have different industries and various means everywhere, at every step, in every stage of life, we are creating pollution. Now, how is this pollution caused? It could be air pollution, it could be soil pollution, it could be water pollution, and of course, the noise pollution we cannot go beyond. So all these pollutions are the major causes which affect the natural resources. And now, because of this misuse of land, the pollution which is created, what is happening? There is drastic change in the climate. Now, I remember this song, Rim Jim Barsa Savan, Rim Jim Barasti Hai Barish. All these things are bygone. आता हल्लीच बघा कधी कुठे काही असं अगदी हलका पाऊस पडलाय किंवा अगदी धीमी धीमी सी बारिश हो रही है, ऐसा बिल्कुल भी नहीं होता. या तो बारिश होती ही नहीं, या तो पूरा ड्रॉट होता है, दुष्काळी जमीन होते, नाही तर व्हॉट हॅपन्स इज अ क्लाउड बर्स्ट. धो धो पाऊस पडतो, नुसतं पाऊस धो धो पडत राहतो आणि त्यामुळे काय होतं, पुढचे सगळे problems, disturbance in the climate quality, climate change होऊन जातं. So next we come to the policies. Now government with all its good means, all its good things in mind, benefiting the environment as well as the people, makes policies. Okay, at times what happens is these policies backfire. Okay, so त्याचा उलटा इफेक्ट आपल्या क्लायमेट वरती आणि आपल्या लिव्हिंग वरती होतो. So let us not go into details about what these policies are. We will move on to the next slide. So now let us see what we are currently doing and what we actually need to do. We are currently following the linear economy. Now, what is this linear economy? I am sure everybody must have heard about this cradle to grave saying policy. Cradle to grave मतलब काय, बनवलं आणि काय केलं, वापरलं, कचऱ्यात टाकलं. Use, produce, use and throw it into the trash. That is what we've been following in this linear economy. Natural resources, we take things from the natural, we then make into different whatever consumer products. It is sold into the market, used in large amount by the consumers. We use it, and what happens ultimately? We throw it out. We throw it into the dustbins, or else we just go and everything lands up in the landfills. Okay, there is no second use, or we do not think about recycling, refurbishing, or anything of that sort when you're following this linear economy. So it's like something, you buy something worth thousands and thousands of rupees, and at the end, the price of that particular thing just plummets down to almost like peanuts, as if 100 रुपयाला तुम्ही ती चीज विकू शकता. So that is what happens from there to there. That is how the linear economy works. Now, what can we do? We can just switch on to this circular economy. Now, what is the circular economy? Very briefly, I will tell you. We procure the raw material, we design it, we retail it, consumption hota, collection hota, and recycling hota. Now, in detail, what I would like to say, when the raw material is taken, it is just going on through a designing process. The designing is done, the market, product is ready, and it is out in the retail shop. Now, this retail shop goes to the consumers. It's open for the consumers. We keep buying all these products, and then they also have a service for the collection of, as in they rebuy all these things, you know, they take it back from you, and then they have a recycling plant for that same unit. So they follow all these the restoring process, the reusing process, the repurposing and the recycling process they follow, and then the raw material cost again drops down drastically because of that. Why? Because you are using the same recycled, reconsumed product for the further design. So this is how the circular economy works. So it is a cradle to cradle economy, we can say. Cradle to cradle, it is not like a cradle to grave, but it is a cradle to cradle way of living. Okay, so this is about the linear economy and the circular economy. Now moving on, we spoke about the linear economy, we spoke about the circular economy. Does that just following circular economy solve your problem? No, it doesn't. Why? Because if we are still creating waste in all stages, like I said, what are we doing over here in this chart? We can see that the primary resources are first explored. Okay, by any company, the primary resources are first explored. The mining is done over there. While you are mining, of course, the waste is generated in that procedure. After the mining, there is the processing unit. While you are doing the processing, again, what is generated? Waste is generated. Then you get your raw material. Okay, the raw material is taken. You select your raw material. The defective pieces are discarded, and the good raw material goes to the design procedure. Now, the designer is thinking always, using brains always, की मी असं केलं तर असं होईल, तसं केलं तर तसं होईल, हा product वापरला ह्याच्या जागी तर तसं होईल. So always, you know, your mind is working that what if I use this instead of that? So whatever you procured earlier, the raw material which you procured earlier, if you have to now change the entire design, you need to change your raw material again. So then again, that whole entire process is done again and again, the waste is generated. So while designing, you just feel it is just a simple process. No, you are generating somewhere or the other, the waste generated. Okay, now you come to the production. Of course, production has its waste and everything, material, काफी सारा waste होता. Then when you say that now our product is ready, and now when we sell it, we are also ready to take it back for the reuse and whatever recycling units. But do you even know that while we are reusing it, while we are recycling it, the recycling process has also got to go through different stages. It needs resources, it needs power to generate, it needs power to work, operate, it needs water also, and it definitely generates waste. So what all are you doing? You are using your resources, you are using again the energy, you are again creating waste. So it is the same, it doesn't stop here. So just think that waste is going to be generated in each and every stages of your life. You cannot go completely ekdam ki I will go zero waste. Something what you have to do is use your mind before you buy a product. Use your mind before you do something. So what is this? Now this is a very interesting slide. If you see, it says who is regulating us. So can you ask a question to yourself? Who is regulating us? The answer is, of course, market. We'll have to think about it. How can we think? Now just I'll give you a small example. Let us talk about small children. When we take small children to a toy shop, what is their reaction? They are like, wow, this looks so colorful. This looks so pretty. I want this. I want that. So what they do, they just try and tell their parents that, Baba, please, I want this. I malai ghunde, Baba malai hatta kela thoda bahut. And then what we do, we end up buying whatever the children want. Okay. So the children are children, they don't know much. So that is okay. That's an excuse. What about us? When we go to markets, what is our mentality? We also try to fall into the same trap. You know, only racked maybe the designer dresses, and of course the sales which are available all the time. Every 4 months you see there is one shop is going on sale. What we do, we go, we keep buying things, we keep buying things. And what happens, you know, the trends keep changing all the time. So what happens, oh, this, I bought this phone today, this phone is after 6 months it is going to be outdated, I need to buy a new one. Why? To be in with the crowd. So the peer pressure is also there at times, especially with the young children. You know, you always see that they want to update their gadgets. They want to update their phones, their iPads, their whatever headphones and what not. So many things. And what happens to the old ones? They are just discarded. What are you doing in the process? You are generating waste. And then at times, you know, you buy some things which you don't need actually. You just keep hoarding things just because you want to. Someone says that this is eco-friendly, please go and buy. We go and buy that. Something which says that this is very good, this is good for your diet, you need to have this in your ear, go and buy. What we do we actually take it? Do we actually consume it? It stays on our shelf for days together. So what I would always say is, before stepping out of the house, for shopping, just think, just ask this question to you. Do you have that particular thing? What exactly are you going to buy? Do you need it? Do you have something like that at home? Can you do it without it? And if the answer is no for all these questions, please go ahead and buy. But do not buy mindlessly. Coming to the next slide. So this is again about a lifestyle. The brands, the lifestyle brands which are created, what do? They play with our mind. They make you a guinea pig. I'm saying nothing against the brands. There's nothing to do. They are performing their own duties. But it is for us to decide, fall for their trap, fall into their trap. Or, and then take the next move. So what they usually do, if you see this, तुम एकदम तुम्हारा स्किन जैसे कि एकदम 16 साल की लड़की की तरह दिख रहा है. So the 30-year-old lady is like, oh wow, very nice, I'm using this and this brand. Another thing is these especially these fairness creams which are doing and making the rounds nowadays. Of course, our thinking has changed today, but still, at certain places, if you see, the skin color does matter. And then they are like, if you apply this particular brand of cream, your skin will be fairer and you will be accepted at more and more places. Like simple things about getting a job in a company. Does getting a job depend on the color of your skin? Tell me, please. This is what happens later on. They weave into all these stories like this. They give stories ki aisa hone se aisa hoga, and this has happened to me, this has happened with so and so, and they build up a brand, giving it a personal touch. And then what happens? They create that kind of an experience. They create a beautiful store. If it's a sports store, like one we can see over here, they create a beautiful sporting experience. As if once you go and wear that gear, you are going to become one fastest runner of that feeling that they give you in your minds. It is that kind of a feeling. And then what happens? Of course, we have social media where we can connect with different people who, where use these different brands. They discuss about these brands. Okay, this brand is outdated. Okay, let me try that sports brand. So it all, goes in a circle and circle. And what is happening is that you are ending up buying all these products for yourself and you are hoarding everything. You are falling to a prey of a thing called as lifestyle. All right. And what is the result? Like I said, you can see it in the picture, the little boy sitting in the junk. Okay, you can see one dead whale, and with what can you see is the plastic which is coming out of his mouth. It was said that this picture has been doing rounds in Google. It says that this whale had around 100 kgs of plastic found inside its stomach. So just one whale has got 100 kgs of plastic. Imagine the entire ocean. 50% of the ocean is full of plastics. Everything is dumped into the ocean. Everything finds its way into the ocean. What are we doing? We are polluting the biggest source of water over there. Then you see the person who is surfing over here. You can see in this picture, what you can see is all the polythene packets and all the garbage around him. And then this is a picture of one Himalayan mountain, which has been, mining is being done over there. Then, of course, how can one forget this site of this Bengaluru lake? The name of the lake, I'll just tell you. It is this Bandaru Lake. I now mala lakshati na vyavasthit. So it was known for the foaming and fuming of the lake. It was it is like the entire foam is due to the toxic chemicals which are formed due to the pollutions, due to the all the liquid pollution which has gone into the rivers, into the lakes. And now this is the site in the Himalayan mountains. Who do you think is responsible for all? It is one and only the human race. We are all responsible for the contaminated water bodies today, the contaminated land, the polluted air, ocean, hill stations also. The groundwater is also getting polluted because of us. Food is getting contaminated because it is contaminated. And what are we doing over here? The current and the future generations, what are we leaving for them? This site. So very recently in the news, I had seen that it was mentioned that the placenta of an expecting mother had microplastics in it. So imagine, even the unborn baby is not left behind when it is concerned with the pollution. We have reached till there. So isn't it time for us to just change a little bit? Not much, nothing much, just small little changes make a lot of impact on the environment. They are very small little changes, and they are actually not going to cost you much. They are going to save a lot for you. So in the next slide, what can we do?
I'm sorry to interrupt,
Yeah.
but are we talking about the Belandur Lake
Yes,
in
yes,
Bangalore?
yes, yes. It is the
Belandur.
Belandur Lake in Bangalore. Thank you, Tanvi. So
Thank
that is the foaming and fuming lake of Bangalore. So here, what can we do? The freedom from the passion to possession. Okay. Everybody wants to possess something nice. Okay, it's good to possess something nice, but everything should have a limit, no? You cannot just go on hoarding everything. I want one house over here, I want one house over there, and I want one house over there also. In that procedure, what are you doing? You are blocking the land spaces. Okay, that house once in a while, once in a year for 4 days, you would be using as your holiday home. And then just, it is just an example which I'm giving, not that necessary everybody must follow, but that is what I wanted to say. Freedom from modern mania. Being modern is being using all kind of different gadgets now. That is not modernism. Modernism is what you think, what you decide to do. That is modernism. Your clothes, your apparels, your gadgets, they don't make you modern. The thoughts are what make you modern. Please remember. Then freedom from the wastefulness, freedom from the market magnets, like we discussed right now. They are just trying to attract you to something, and which for you, and they're trying to make you fall prey for that, which increases their economy and which reduces yours. So freedom from duplicity. What is this duplicity? It's like, I go to the market, I already have 4 types of black dresses. I want a 5th one. Why? Because I just liked it. So no, it is not like that. I will try and use that dress which I have in different styles. I'll try to drape it in a different style. Try and, utilize your mind, utilize your creativity in just, not buying that 5th piece of the same thing, rather than use and reuse and, replicate all these styles in your own creative way. That would be much more appreciated rather than a new dress. So freedom from insecurity. If you don't follow all these things, you will be insecure. It is nothing like that. You please follow all these things and just see what a difference it makes to you. So does that say that we are going back to our roots, the minimalistic way of living? Yes, it is. Why not? So it is a wonderful way of living. आपले पूर्वज जसे राहत होते, आपल्या आज्या, पूर्वज पण नाही, आपल्या आज्यांचं बघा, थोडंसं काहीतरी असलं तर त्याच्यातच सगळे आपलं व्यवस्थित राहणं, तेवढ्या पुरतच हे करणं, उगीच वेड्यासारखं विकत काही घेणं, असं काही करणं नाही, प्रत्येकाचा इलाज घरातच असणं. All these, for every little thing, the grandmother used to have the answer for. So that is the minimalistic way of living. Now we are following even the food habits and all. If you see, most of the dietitians are saying, go back to what your granny used to eat. You look at Milind Soman now. Milind Soman, who was the topmost modern, the king of being a modern person. He is now following a minimalistic lifestyle, isn't it? So all these things, do matter. Falling back to our roots is really necessary. It is high time we go back to our roots. So going back to our roots, what does it mean? Now, plastic, you see. Now, can we replace these plastic to stainless steels? When I say लगेच कचऱ्यात टाका आणि जाऊन स्टीलच्या वस्तू आणा, it is not like that. You use your plastic things, whatever you have in the house. Do not buy more now. When it's time to buy something new, invest in something which is more durable, like a stainless steel material. When you're using all these chemical cleaners and shampoos and everything, toothpaste, why not think about something which doesn't have chemicals and which will not create a problem for the soil and the environment? try and go for a chemical-free cleaners, which are easily available, and you can do it on your own also, which I'll be telling you about in the next slides. Then the biggest problem which you are facing today are these single-use plastics, especially these polythene bags. Can we not replace them with our cloth bags? Just before you leave the house, just like how you put your mobile phone and your wallet into your bag, can we not have a small plastic, cloth bag into our purses or the bags which we are carrying? But that will help us on so much. When you go out, when you come home with 5 to 10 packets of polythene bags. So with just one cloth bag, that will take care of these polythene bags. You don't need to buy all these polythene bags from the grocers. Say no to plastic, say no to single-use polythenes, and say no to single-use whatever plastics are. Now, using the right bin. What are we doing when we are discarding our garbage? What we do, we dump everything in one dustbin and just throw it. Instead of that, we should emphasize on segregation of waste. Now, everybody knows what wet waste is, what dry waste is. I'm sure everybody is aware, by far everybody is aware. But we have something called as biodegradable, non-biodegradable, and hazardous. About this, we will talk more in detail in our further slides. So these are the various options which are available. The steel bottles, why buy PET bottles all the time? Carry your bottle when you step out of the house. There's no need to buy the mineral water which is there in the plastic bottle, which you just drink and just throw it away. Nowadays we are getting this smart cutlery kits also, which you can carry. So you don't need to use these disposable ones at all. So, and of course, there are woodens also. You can opt for a wooden cutlery set also. Then you take your own napkin wherever you go. Don't use the paper napkins. Of course, to make a paper napkin, in the processing of the paper, so many trees are cut in that process. So why not carry your own cloth napkin? And instead of those thermocol plates which are used very widely nowadays, why not use these pattal ke plates, leaf supari chapanachi plates milta tha aajkal. These are biodegradable completely. Why not use these? Then you also get these mud glasses. Here in Calcutta we call them kullards. I don't know what they are called in Maharashtra, mala athvat nahi hai. So we use these for our tea. Why should we use those paper cups? Use LED bulbs and all, and always carry all these things. If you're stepping out of the house, just you can carry your cutlery, water bottle, napkin, and a cloth bag, and you are done. You will definitely save a lot. And at the most, one step ahead, if you want to go, you can carry a box or a container to buy whatever food items if you feel like when you're out for buying. So that, coming to the next part. So now it is like, what can I do? What would be my contribution in environment conservation? So what can I do from my side? So you become a Paryavaran Prahari. What is Paryavaran Prahari? Paryavaran Prahari is an eco warrior, who stands against all these pollutions. Now, how do you make your own house a Harit Ghar? I'll just let you know what a Harit Ghar is. Ghar is that house which takes care of your land conservation, your water conservation, your energy conservation, then Jeev Sanrakshan and Zameen Sanrakshan. So all these things are taken care of in this Harit Ghar. Now, how? Step by step, we'll go and see in the next slide. So now when we come to the water pollution, okay, water conservation, sorry. So this is a common sight which we see when we step out of the house or also within our houses. There are leakages, then we use a hose pipe to wash our cars. We are watering the plants, we meet a friend and we're just talking and the water is just going, just wasting, flowing water. Then many of us have today ROs and ACs, from which always the water is rejected. The RO water which we use, almost 60% of the water is rejected. What does it have? What happens is people just let it flow. So that water is also wasted. The AC water keeps dripping. It is also wasted. When we go to wash one little tomato, if we open the tap, you are just using almost a liter of water to wash that little tomato. When you're brushing your teeth, you are letting the water flow. But of course, I think this part, many people have become aware of and they have stopped doing this. I'm glad about it. So what can we do for all these problems? First and foremost, let us see what is, we get a lot of rain. So rainwater harvesting is one of them where we can save water at our homes. We can have one pipe situated on the roof, which will lead the water to a tank where the water is collected and it goes through different filters, and then it is stored in a tank, or else it is just allowed to seep into the soil, which improves your water table and the groundwater quality also. Now, again, I was talking about the AC reject water, which is there in the second picture over here. So the same applies for the RO water also. You can collect the RO and AC reject water into a drum. You can easily use this water for for your plants. You can use it for your cleaning purposes. You can use it in your toilets and bathrooms. The third part is using a small thing which is called as a mist or an aerator for the taps. If you use these taps, it is seen that almost 50% of the water is saved. The flow is reduced, and that is why the water is saved. The fourth part is reusing your sewerage water. There you just go, the water is goes through the sewage water which we use, goes through a process in which it can be recycled and reused again for your washing and cleaning purposes. And now this is a very interesting concept called as cutting water. Now, what is this cutting water? Many of us have parties at home. Many of us have guests at home. So what first we do when our guests arrive at home? We serve them water. So we serve them with nice, beautiful glasses full of water. Does every guest drink the entire glass of water? No, they don't. So imagine every day 2 or 3 guests visiting us. What happens? Every day half glass. Every day, how much water are we wasting? Every house is wasting so much water just because the water which is purified, the drinking water is always purified. Remember, it goes through a filtration process, and that water which has already gone through so much of process, it has consumed so much of energy, it has used so much of resources of your natural resources, that you are wasting mindlessly. Nobody must have given it a thought की पाहुणे आले की त्यांना पाणी द्यायचं, त्यांनी नाही प्यालं तर ते पाणी टाकून द्यायचं. This is something which needs to be taken care of, thought about. So what concept we have come up is the cutting glass of water. अर्धा ग्लास पाणी द्यायचं त्यांना आणि एक बाटली पण बरोबर ठेवायची पाण्याची, so that they don't feel ki what is this, they're giving only this much of water, what you don't have water or what in your house. It is not like that. We have water, but we don't have water to waste. So the guest also understands, and he might just follow the same thing which you are doing, because let us make our environment protection contagious. Why just corona is contagious? Let this also be contagious. So this is the concept of half glass of water. Now half bucket of water. Half bucket pariyanta yayacha adi, let us see that many of us are used to having a shower. So instead of a shower, first you shift to a bucket. Once you're used to having a bath with the bucket, try and using just 1 bucket of water for your bath. Then you try and use half bucket of water for your bath. Okay, everything has to go in transition. You cannot go in a haphazard way ki आज एकदम उठलो सकाळी मी एकदम environment friendly होणार आहे, मी सगळं करणार आहे. It is not possible. You do one at a time. सगळ्याचं एक एक करून पहा, सवय लागू द्या त्याची तुम्हाला, आणि मग तुम्ही पुढची स्टेप घ्या आणि करत जा. Otherwise it wouldn't last for a long time. कंटाळून जाल तुम्ही, मग करणारच नाही काही. So now, when it comes to waste management, waste, what all do we have in waste? We have solid waste. In this solid waste, we have the biodegradable as well as the non-biodegradable waste. Okay, so in what all comes under the biodegradable waste? Basically, it is your kitchen waste. Whatever vegetables and fruit peels, the leftover food, all waste. All right, that is the biodegradable वेस्ट, जे सडतं, अन्न जे सडतं, साली ज्या खराब होतात ते सगळं त्याला बायोडिग्रेडेबल वेस्ट म्हणतात. Now, what is the dry waste? Now, in the dry waste, we have plastics, we have boxes, which are the cardboard boxes, we have glass pieces, we have wood, metal, and of course, e-waste is there. And then comes the sanitary waste, which is often called as domestic hazardous waste. Now, we'll see one by one. What can we do with the biodegradable waste? Composting, of course, and bioenzymes. All right, that you can do. All these packaging boxes, they are recyclable. You can easily recycle them. With glass pieces, you can definitely recycle them. But only thing which I would always suggest for the glass and the metallic sharps, you always cover them, wrap them up with a newspaper so that the person who is picking them up, the person who's handling that waste doesn't get hurt. There's nothing wrong in thinking about others a little bit. You do not need to be so selfish, just thinking की माझ्या घरातला कचरा गेला ना झालं. तुमच्या घरातला कचरा गेला, पण तो जो सफाई करणार आहे, तो सेग्रीगेट करणार आहे, त्याच्या हाताला कशाला तुम्ही इजा करणार? So for that, you just use your mind and just, whatever glass pieces are there, cover them with a paper. Then we come to the e-waste. Now, what is e-waste? E-waste is generated from your cords, mobile phones, telephone sets, wires, headphones, laptops, iPads, whatever electronic geysers आहेत, electrical geysers आहेत, then batteries, all these fall under the category of e-waste. You cannot mix these e-waste into the other dry waste because they have a different method, altogether different process of recycling. Okay, so they need to be given to the recyclers who deal only with the e-waste. That is the correct way or correct method of disposing your e-waste. Now comes the sanitary waste part. Now, in the sanitary waste part, you have all these discarded medicines. You have the sharps like the syringes and everything. Then you have the sanitary pads. Then you have the baby diapers and the adult diapers. Okay. Of course, these sanitary waste needs to be disposed in a proper way. I would suggest that it is biomedical waste. It has to be incinerated. Now, when you're talking about the sanitary napkins, every lady every month almost uses 10 to 15 pads. So these sanitary napkins, what do? They just throw it into the dustbin. When this goes into the dustbin, it goes into the garbage mountains which are piled up. It stays there for ages together. Why? Because these are not biodegradable. So what can we do about it? Then what happens, when you put everything into the same waste, again, the same thing happens. The Safai Karmachari has to separate this from the entire waste and then send it for the send it to the biomedical waste disposal center or wherever the incinerators are situated for it to burn, because this cannot land in the air. But this happens only in some places. Most of the places it just goes and sits in the landfill. 500 वर्ष तसं ते राहतं तिकडे, कारण it doesn't degrade. What can be done? When you're using these kind of sanitary napkins, please cover them with a waste paper, mark with the red dot so that people, the cleaners know that this is the sanitary waste. This needs to be separated from the total waste stream and needs to be disposed of in a different way. Okay. And now we are lucky to have different options for the sanitary napkins. We have reusable ones. We have the biodegradable sanitary napkins are also available in the market. The menstrual cups are also available in the market. So far, it is said that the menstrual cups are the best means for the reduce the sanitary waste. So it is just a one-time buy and it lasts you for years together. Almost 6 to 8 years, you can use that one little menstrual cup. If nobody is saying that you immediately switch to the menstrual cup. you go in transition. You start using the reusable ones, you start using the biodegradable ones, and then once you feel you are comfortable, you use the menstrual cup, which does not create waste at all. So that is about your sanitary waste. And now the plastic waste. Again, the plastic has got a different way of disposing. So all these recyclers, they take good quality of polythenes, the thick ones, which can be recycled. So what about the thin ones? What about the multi-layered plastics? What about the biscuit wrappers? What about the chocolate wrappers? For all these things, we will talk in the next slide, which there is a simple solution I will be talking about. I hope this waste management, the solid waste management is clear to all of you, because this is very important, and it is very important for the people to know the difference between all the types of waste which are created and generated by us. And now no longer it is a taboo to talk about, the sanitary pads and all. It is a waste generated by a lady every day. So it is a waste, and please deal with it. So now what can you do for the land conservation? Of course, we discussed about the segregation of all the waste, which is shown in the first picture. Now the second picture is what recycling is all about. Dadi maa ki matki. Now what is Dadi maa ki matki? Out of these dry waste, if you think that you won't need that particular dry waste and it is recyclable, you can go and keep it in your a drum or maybe a box which you have kept for the dry waste. So for the entire month, you can just keep it filling. Okay, and then at the end of the month, you can just go through it once. What all you need, you keep it aside, and the rest, you can give it to the recyclers. So the recyclers can recycle it. Now, the third is the kitchen garden. Kitchen garden actually is the rasoi ki bagya, which is another concept over here. The picture, I think, is a different, which is attached to here. So rasoi ki bagya is a totally different concept, which is like, something very similar to composting. We can talk about it in some other lecture because it's a long procedure. And then when we come to the wet waste or the composting of green waste, the kitchen waste, which are the peels, the fruit peels, the vegetable peels, the leftover vegetables, all these things we can use in the composting bin. Now, people, when we say composting, make a big face ki he sagla ami काय करणार, कसं करणार, केवढा वास येतो. So if composting is done in the right way, it doesn't smell at all. I stay in Kolkata in a flat. I have a small balcony in which I do my composting in a clay pot. One normal म्हणजे जे आता उन्हाळ्यात आपण पाण्याचा मटका आणतो, मातीचा मटका, तसलाच मटका, आणि in that only I make my compost ready. So it is a very easy procedure. Just follow all the rules and principles which are used to make it. Use a lot of dry leaves in that so that it doesn't create any odor, nor does it create any maggots or anything. I have not seen, by far I haven't seen, by God's grace. So that is one way to tackle your wet waste. And now, like I was saying, this is a picture of an eco brick. What is an eco brick? So like I said, what about the thin plastics, thin polythenes, which cannot be recycled? The thin, very thin plastic polythenes, which are soft polythenes, single-use ones, which are banned in Maharashtra, but not everywhere. They can be put into these bottles called as eco bricks. This is a PET bottle, okay? We can just go on stuffing and compacting it with a stick. Something like a strong stick. You can just fill the single-use polythenes and just go on compacting inside this bottle. Okay, so this bottle, this eco brick, takes care of your entire single-use plastics, and also the plastic small tags which you get with your new clothes. There is that plastic thin thread-like tag which is non-recyclable. What happens? It goes into the streams, it reaches the animal's stomach. So rather than that, put it into the eco brick. It is secured here. All right. And also the cut pieces. Now, how would one cut a plastic packet? A polythene bag. This is a polythene bag. In general, people tend to cut the corner, and this corner always goes into the dustbin. So first of all, change your habit. Cut your plastic bags like this. Don't let it part from the packet. And if at all If at all there are these small pieces generated, please put them into the eco brick. Now, one single eco brick of 1 liter, can take in around 100 square feet of single-use polythene, which is scattered around. Everything can be just compacted into one single 1 liter eco brick. So by making these eco bricks, just imagine how much you are saving on the environment, how much environment land pollution you are saving, because of which there is the soil pollution also, and of course the groundwater is also polluted because of the leaches formed due to these plastics. So you can also give small children the small plastic bottle, you can tell them that this is your friend, you carry it with you. Whenever you eat a chocolate, don't throw the chocolate wrapper into the dustbin, rather put it into the eco brick so that it will not enter the environment. So this was about the conservation of land. Now, when you come to your green areas, we will talk about the forestry. Now, has anyone imagined that how useful just one single tree can be for a human being? 50 साल में एक पेड़ हमारे इतने काम आता है. क्या क्या काम आता है? 17.5 lakh rupees of oxygen the plant gives you. Now everybody knows the cost of oxygen after this COVID. Many people have gone and bought oxygen, and you are getting oxygen free of cost and you're not caring for it. So this is the situation right now. So all these things tell you, and by planting trees all around, just one tree can make a difference of 3% of the temperature. The temperature in the surrounding area falls down by 3%. So that is the way it has to be. By planting one tree, all these things are going to happen. So usually there is a 33% of green carpet area on our earth. So if we go by this percentage, every person should be planting 422 trees in his life. What are we doing? Here in India, it is not possible. What we're doing is per person, only 28 trees are being planted. So we should go on planting more and more trees. Now, what can we do? Now, planting trees, we'll say कि हम कैसे करेंगे? हमारे घर में थोड़ी ना इतनी जगह है. Everybody is not blessed with a garden and all to go and plant trees. So what can be done? So in your little space, you can have your own balcony garden. You can have a few plants. A little bit of greenery always looks beautiful. Make your balcony look beautiful with different plants. Plant trees on your terrace, utilize your terrace. Terrace gardening has become a very in trend. You can follow these green trends actually. You can have a vegetable garden on your terrace. I know a person in Nagpur who has started this terrace gardening, and even in the malls and high-rise buildings, he has planted trees everywhere, and he's planted the vegetable gardens, all organic. He makes his own compost. He uses Gaumutra as a source of insecticide also, pesticide also, and in the water he mixes that and waters the plants. So the beautiful terrace garden is created by him in Nagpur. And the third shows plant trees in your backyards. Plant trees like neem trees, which gives you a lot of oxygen. Then in your own house, what you can do is you can have 5 plants which gives you oxygen, the oxygen generating plants like the aloe vera, then there's areca palms, then you have those pothos which produce a lot of oxygen. The snake plant produces a lot of oxygen, and also the spider plant. These are the few plants. You Google them and you come to know so many varieties of plants which you can easily have them inside your house. These are all the indoor plants. You can also have a few medicinal plants. Everybody knows you can have ajwain, you can have adulsa. Adulsa is the best remedy for your cough and cold problems. Tried and tested 100 times. I do not use any other medicine. I just use adulsa. So all these oxygen releasing plants and medicinal plants around your house can definitely make a lot of difference in your house, in your environment, in the way you feel when you wake up to the morning. Always they say when you see something green, it is soothing to your eyes. So why not see it in your own house. Why do you need to step out of the house? Inside your house, you can have this greenery created by you. Small little things, small little steps, which really, really create a greater impact. Then we come to the species. Okay, what is happening to the species? How many of you have seen sparrows? Now, in my area, we hardly see any sparrows. Earlier, we used to see sparrows. There were beautiful different birds. There were kingfishers. There were parrots coming. But now, since there are more buildings and less of trees, what I see are only crows. So every 20 minutes, a species is being extinct in the world. The next one could be. So sparrows are definitely, on the verge of extinction. It was a World Sparrows Day just a few days back, So all the posters where I was really happy to circulate all these pictures of the World Sparrow Day, seeing the sparrow. So nowadays, it's a very rare sight seeing a sparrow. What you could do, what you could do for all these little species, you just can have a small bird house situated outside your own house. You can have a little space, little shed for the animals, stray animals. They can come and rest during the summer season, during the rainy season. They can come and take shelter just near around your house. You can have bird feeders. You can feed the birds with all these beautiful bird feeders. They add to the beauty of your house, as well as, they help the bird to get some food to eat. You can make your own bird feeders with the PET bottles. There are a lot of videos on the YouTube which you can follow with the PET bottles, with the cans, and with many other things. You can make these bird feeders. Not necessarily you go out and buy. You can keep water for the birds. You can keep water for the animals also. If you're living in a society, if you're living in a row houses, if you have space outside, then definitely we in India, we do have dogs and cows and buffaloes on the streets. Even the donkeys are on the streets. There's nothing wrong in giving them water. It's okay. We can feed them. So be kind and show some empathy towards your animals also, and go ahead and just try and help and try to do your bit for the environment. Now, when you come to the energy conservation, how many of you just switch off when you move out of a room? Switch off the lights when you move out. The first and foremost, the simplest thing which you can do to save energy is switch off the light when you're walking out of the room. Switch off the light, switch off the fan. Don't just go walk out like that, keeping everything on. That is the first step towards energy conservation. The second step, I would say, all these gadgets when we're using the TV and all, everything, remote se off kar diya, kaam ho gaya, kaam khatam. Re piche se jaake thoda switch bhi band karo na. Kyun behti jayegi electricity? Do that. So that is nothing big which we are asking for. And nowadays, when it's the time to buy a new one, not just go and buy just for the sake of buying it, but when you are going to invest in something like an AC or a refrigerator or a water heater, just see that it uses less energy. There are many products which consume less energy, which needs less energy for their working. So you can opt for that, for the energy conservation. Then, of course, keep a periodical repair and the servicing of the products is necessary for it running in a proper way. So keep servicing, keep repairing the products which you have, which then definitely uses less energy. And of course, the use of LED lamps, use of solar panels, use of solar heaters, use of solar lamps, solar cookers also are very useful. You are getting solar energy in ample. Why not make use of it? Invest in a solar system, solar cooking system, solar heater system, solar panels, which you can have. If you're staying in a building, you can always think about these alternative options. Now, when we come to the fifth one, don't be surprised when I say that Agnihotra does have a scientific background. Agnihotra does have a scientific background. It is performed using cow dung cake and the pure ghee. So sometimes kapoor is also added to it. Camphor is also added to it. By doing Agnihotra at least once in a day, it is said that the surrounding air is purified. You get a pure air, rich of carbons, rich of oxygen, and that helps in giving you the positive energy which is needed. It is said that it is believed that performing Agnihotra spreads lot of positivity in your house. Of course, when we perform a home havan in our house, we do feel good. So that is something very similar to a home havan, just a small little thing which, you know, brings lot of positivity to your house. So now this website, this slide tells you about my organization, which is Paryavaran Sanrakshan. You can visit it on the Facebook. You can just have, we have our website, which we may visit. And also we have a Twitter link, and also we are on Instagram. And last, the last slide of today's presentation, which says Mata Bhumi Putraham Prithvivya. Manjets Kai, earth is my mother and I am her child. So always before doing something, rethink about your choices. Always ask questions to yourself that this choice I am making, is it necessary? It is required. If yes, then go ahead. Refuse single-use plastic. Anything which is single-use, do not use it. Try to refuse it. Reduce the consumption. The main thing is reduce your consumption. The market is there. It will go on producing. You cannot blame the market. It is a person to be blamed. If you try and reduce your consumption, ultimately the market will control itself. Reuse everything. Try and reuse whatever you have n number of times, and then think about the next day. Refurbish your old stuff. You must be having old things very much. Just give it a new look, refurbish it, and very proudly use it. Repair before you replace. Just like what I said right now. Try repairing on time. A stitch in time saves 9. Repurpose and be creative. Reinvent. And the last option which you can do is recycling. So recycling should always be your last option. So this brings to the end of my session, the end of my presentation. Now, if there are any questions, any discussions, please, we may start with that. Tanvi, I'm done with my presentation.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. First of all, thank you so much for this amazing presentation. It had really great pictures, and the examples which you gave were very, relatable. So we could understand it very well. So we have received a lot of comments which are saying that it is a very nice and explanatory, informative session. So thank you so much for that. With your permission, I would like to start the question answer session.
Sure.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. So the question is, how do we dispose the sanitary waste without an incinerator? So if in societies or at household level, if they do not have an incinerator, how do they dispose it or treat it?
Everywhere we do not have incinerators, and everywhere there isn't a facility, but there are a few buildings which, a society where they have their own incinerator facilities. They are small, but what we generally do is we always wrap it with a newspaper and put a red dot on it. Always have a red sketch pen handy, and dot pollutants can be separately channelized. So wherever usually what has to be done is it has to go to the places where the biomedical waste is treated. So it is the responsibility of the municipality or whichever is functioning over there to segregate that waste, and it is channelized to the biomedical waste facility where it is treated that waste. So that is what is done. And at times, most of the times, it is really a sad thing that it just ends up into the waste stream. Many a times it is personally, if you just put it in even if bags and you put a red dot around it, that also it is easy for them, if at all they are doing, for them to segregate.
Right. So we should also think of the person who is going to handle it next.
Absolutely. You should always, think about the person who is going to handle you yourself. You feel so, to handle your own waste. Then somebody else is doing it. Why just, the person also has dignity. Just because he is a Safai Karmachari doesn't mean he is there. He will pick up, he'll put hands and whatever you say. So Respect everyone, respect everybody's work, and be a responsible citizen.
Right. Yes. The next question is, how do we aware people in rural areas? Like if the people in rural areas are not very, able to speak out about the sanitary waste, or they create a very awkward situation. If you ask them about the sanitary waste, they are very, very like not open-minded.
I know it is a
So
taboo.
yeah.
Definitely, definitely.
So how do we aware them about this?
Yeah. So first and foremost, when we are dealing with the people in the rural area, they definitely, gradually they open up. It is very difficult to talk to them because today in our world, even now in few parts by rural, even in our is a taboo. But when we start talking about it, that is how we make people aware. So we should always spread the awareness amongst people. So when you're talking to these people in the rural area, most of them end up using rags, and basic hygiene isn't there. So what happens, there are all these the government has come up with this Jana Aushadhalaya, where you get these biodegradable napkins at a very cheap rate. These are made available. So you should just find out one in that area and let them know ki हे तुमच्याकडे availability आहे ह्याची आणि ह्याचा वापर तुम्ही करू शकता. Or else you can ask them to use the reusable ones. And at times, I know few of my friends, they have gifted their mates who stay in the slums with the menstrual cups. So they were definitely hesitant in using those, but once when they got used to you, it is a one-time investment, and then it is there for, so that could also be done. I wouldn't see it is a major step to go and accept the menstrual cup. So initially, so you just have to stress upon the menstrual hygiene using reusable pads or the biodegradable pads which are available in the Jan Shakti Aushadhalaya. Jan Aushadhalaya, sorry.
Okay. Also, as we have said that many things about adapting to environmental living. So would you guide us that how do we, when we step out of our homes, we do not sometimes have the things, we do not carry everything with us. So what all do we carry first of all with us when we step out, and what to avoid when we go to the shopping malls or to restaurants? How do we avoid the things which are hazardous to the environment, which are harmful, and what all do we carry with ourselves?
Okay, so first and foremost, I will tell you about a smart eco-friendly kit, which always we should be carrying in our bags. So when we step out of our houses, so generally we have big bags, so we always carry big bags. So in that bag, what all we can have a cutlery set. In that cutlery set, you have a steel spoon, could be wooden also. You have a straw, a steel straw or a bamboo straw. All right. Then you can then have a cup, which you can carry. Then a bottle, a steel bottle, which you should always be carrying for water. And of course, a cloth bag and a napkin. All these are the basic essentials which you out of the house. Then you try and refuse the use of single-use plastics. When you see they are being served with a served tea in a disposable cup, just say, I have my own. I would rather use my own rather than using your disposable. Please keep it to yourself and try not to use it. So when you feel thirsty, you have your own water bottle. You can have your water bottle, water from your own water bottle. So when you need to wipe your hands, you have your cloth napkin handy so that you are not using your tissue. So at times there's nothing wrong in carrying soap. You can always keep washing your hands also wherever you need to wash your hands rather than using the paper napkins. And when I know a few people who go a step further by keeping a box for food items. When you're going to the market, you feel like buying paneer. The person who gives you paneer, here in Calcutta, we get it in a single-use polythene. So say no to that single-use polythene, use the box. He will give you that paneer in the plastic box. And even the same goes for the mithai. The mithai box, single thin plastic layer, if you must have noticed. So just if you know that you are going out and you want to buy mithai, take your own boxes from home. There you're reducing again with your, the waste. And I am also a baker. So what I do when I make brownies, I earlier used to wrap them in those single-use plastics. But instead of that, I have started using paper to wrap it around, and just I place it in the paper box, and give it. I hope that takes care of all the questions, Tanvi.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. So I
Yeah.
hope the viewers are satisfied with the answers, because you have really explained it with good examples and little things which we can adapt and start progressing step by step. Even baby steps are really important when we see it on a larger
Absolutely.
picture. Yes. So thank you so much. Even the examples and how the market has changed our mindset about the things which we use in our daily life, so that has been impacted us on a bigger scale. So it is very hard for us to start. Even starting is an important step, so we should start with ourselves. That is what we have learned today. So starting with ourselves is going to create a big change in our own environment as well as surroundings. Even if you start from your homes, it is going to create a big change in the environment as a whole. So thank you so much, ma'am. It was really a very informative and a very important session of today's. So our viewers can watch it later also on our Facebook page, and on Friday it shall be posted on YouTube channel Apla Pariyavaran. So you can also watch it. Subscribe both our channels and like this video. Also share as much as you can, because this contains very really important steps which we all can adapt if we decide to. So yes, thank you so much everyone. We are going to continue these sessions every Wednesday at 4:30. So see you next Wednesday live at 4:30 p.m. Thank you everyone. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Tanvi. Thank you, Poonam, once again, and thank you, wonderful viewers. And I hope just one step is going to make a lot of difference. So please adapt, and it's easy. All whatever I've said is doable. So please go ahead and do it. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.